Oh boy, these past few videos, I've been talking about some serious shit. So this time I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for the past few days. There are some doorknobs that are made that I have absolutely no idea why they would even exist. So I'm doing a doorknob ranking. I'll put this right here for you guys to just watch and enjoy. And the first one I'm gonna start off with are those circle doorknobs. Those doorknobs that aren't even a doorknob, they just look like it's a circle, literally just a circle. Oh wow. I think those doorknobs are probably the worst ones because they have no utility. Those doorknobs are absolutely some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. So I'll start it off with that. F tier, and I'm gonna draw it out for you guys to make it easier for you guys to watch. Is this thing right over here, those circle doorknobs. They have no grip, they have no proper utility on a daily basis. They slip off easily. I just feel as if you're an architect and you genuinely decide, I have a great idea, let's make a doorknob which people cannot hold on to, people cannot grab. Fuck it, I'm gonna put it somewhere else. People cannot grab, people cannot grip onto, and you still think that's a good idea? Then I don't think you're doing your job as an architect. Here, let me give you guys a presentation. This right here is like a doorknob. You pull it like this. If it's circular, this is even better option because it has these little things right here, little angles. But if it's circular, I have no grip, so if I try to twist it, boom, it slips off. And I have very sweaty hands too, so it's even worse for me and for anybody else that really wants to enjoy their doorknob experience. Within S tier, is going to be, is a pretty bad illustration. It'll be this doorknob right over here. The ones that you just pull easily. They're easy, they're simple, you barely slip on them, you barely hurt yourself on them. They're pretty good doorknobs. I have no complaints on them, except for one thing. And it's if you lock that kind of doorknob, because they have a little handle above them, and you have to pull down. Now that gets slippery. I genuinely don't like those. But they are pretty great. But they are pretty great, so S tier, easily. But with that in mind, I do have to make this point right over here. We're going to C tier. But this one I don't like, but I understand why it's useful. The doorknobs right here that only you pull down. Those are not that bad. I don't like them. I think they're genuinely garbage. But I have to be objective with some of these listings. They're C tier. Because truthfully, they're not that bad. It's just when you grow up with sweaty hands, and the more you try to pull on stuff like that, the more they break. I don't like when things break on me. It gets very disappointing. It gets pointless because when you pull it down, it slips off, and the geometrical shape of the thing isn't very supportive to your hand as well. So the point is, they're good, they're not great. Simple as that. So matter of fact, let's talk about this. What the hell makes a great doorknob? Oh god, I strapped myself a little bit. It's gonna require three things. I'll write it right in front of you guys in case you guys are illiterate and you cannot hear what I'm saying. A great doorknob requires grip. A really good amount of grip. That's not bad. A huge one as well is it needs to have aesthetic. It needs to have aesthetic design. You can't have a cool doorknob if it's not cool at all. And lastly, I think this one's pretty obvious for everybody. Utility. How good does it mesh with the environment? It may look cool, but if it's not as useful as it should probably be, it's not a good doorknob. Because if you look at the majority of doorknobs, they all are very, very similar to each other into the fact of they either one, they hurt you, two, they're not good, or three, they look cool, they just don't do anything. Or sorry, they are very useful, but they just don't look cool, I'm gonna say, not the other way around. So with all those attributes in mind, what's required to make the best doorknob you can ever make? So let's keep this part in mind. To make a great doorknob, the first thing you always need to attribute is the utility. I put it in a third. Fuck me. Don't fuck me. It should be utilized first. It should not have grip as a priority, number one priority. It should have aesthetics, number one priority. Utilization, number one priority amongst everything. So I'm gonna erase all of this. Let's get a screenshot. If you guys are following along, we're gonna have a test at the end of this too, so you better memorize all it all. Let's start off, utility. What this means is that if I pass by your doorknob, how likely am I to get hurt? Because a lot of doorknobs, they either catch onto your clothes or they straight up just hurt you. That's why I don't like the circular ones. If you pass by it, bam, hit the air, go to the hospital over 3 months. Not cool. So what kind of doorknob will institute great utilization? And you know, I'm thinking about it, and I feel as if I come with a clear answer. It's not a doorknob, just stick with me for this one. It's the kind of doors that just open without a doorknob at all. The ones where you just push, boom, you're inside. It's not a doorknob. Is that cheating? Probably, but it's my tier list, so fuck off. To a different fucking class if you have a problem with my shit. It's pretty obvious to why they're number one. It's because they don't hurt you at all. All you do is just push it. Even if you're dumb enough to just go straight through the door, they open. And if you want them locked, just lock it. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty genius design. Whoever designed that should probably get a B+. Nah, nay. Because nothing's perfect. That's regardless of the point. But I did kind of cheat with that one. What would really be considered an amazing doorknob? Oh, I got it. And this was not a cop-out either, so stick with me on this one. The best doorknobs to ever exist have to be the ones that go inside the surface. Think about a car, think about of anything that have the kind of a door, and the inside, you grab onto it, you press a button or whatever it is, pull it open. Those are easily the best kind of doorknobs to ever exist. I don't know how to draw this, so I'm gonna make a little mouth and tongue inside, or something along that. I don't know what that is, but this right here is a shadow, there's the doorknob, you'll pull on that. Easily the best door out there. There's no point in your adventure of a doorknob will you ever have trouble with that. Unless it's electronic. If it's electronic, there might be a malfunction, but that's your problem. I don't give a shit about that. Easiest and most useful kind of doorknobs there is. Just put your hand in there, pull, that's all it is. You can't hurt yourself, you cannot mess up in any way possible. It's probably the best one. If I were to really pick out a problem with that doorknob, is that the grip could be questionable for many different products. Because when it comes to the grip, a lot of the cheap products, it could be very slippery. So when you try to pull the doorknob, it slips off your hand. Now that's an easy fix. You could put some material to make it a little more grip or make it a little more grippy for your fingers. That part is an easy fix, but a lot of people are kind of stupid, so don't worry about that part. Which does go on to the next section, is grip. Which kind of handle would have the best grip out there? And you can easily say, is this one right here, the one where you just hold on to, wraps around your fingers, just pull it open. And I would say that probably does have the best grip. But that's kind of cheating, because that goes completely against utilization. If you walk past that kind of doorknob, you're hurt right here, 3 months in the hospital, boom, you're dead. But matter of fact, while I was working out, let me show you guys. This right here is why it's F tier. I try to pull this just like that. I cannot even pull it for that long. And I have kind of decent grip, so it's bullshit. But we've established that the best grip there is this right here, preferably some sort of metal. So the metal could rust a little bit. It'd be a lot harder for your hands to, it'd be easier for your hands to grip on, because the metal's already so hard, it's kind of rusty as well. So when you grab it, boom, easy. But how can we find the balance of the grip and utilization of it for it not to get in the way of you and for it to be extremely grippy? I have no fucking clue. I don't really care that much. And the last one, aesthetic. Which doorknob is the best aesthetically? This is kind of a cop-out, but it's a truth answer. That door that I said during the beginning, where you just push and opens without getting in your way, no harm, no problems, just easy and done, that's the best aesthetic door out there. And you can't say that it isn't, because it gets in the way of nothing. It gets in the way of no one. All you do is push it, push out. That's all it is. It's like taking a poop. With those three in mind, how can we figure out what's the best doorknob out there? Not the best in one category and the best in all categories. Let me figure out the best doorknob I can make up. So you see right here, that's a door. And the design is very, very simple. So in the very middle is going to be the doorknob. Not going to be left, not going to be right, not going to be anywhere. It's going to be directly in the middle. What's going to happen is that it's going to be smaller than this, but I'm just making it big for you guys to see it. We're going to have two different entrances. So one for your middle finger, one for your thumb. So when you go in, all you do is put your fingers in, turn. That's all it is. It's going to be pretty shallow as well, so you don't have to get caught onto the door as well. You go inside, finger, middle finger, thumb, palm, easy, doors open. You don't hurt yourself, you don't have any difficulties, that easy. And to lock it, of course, you put the key inside, lock it so you cannot twist it as well. So it has kind of the same principle of this little knob right here. It has the same idea of a push door that doesn't get away with whatever you do. And as well, it's just fucking awesome. Now there is a problem. There's a few problems. So it's cool because aesthetically pleasing, easy to use, and it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't interfere with anything. It's pretty much that. Put your fingers in, twist, boom, door open. Really cool. But if we're gonna talk about the good things, we have to talk about the bad things too. A big problem is if you don't have a thumb, you cannot use this door. Unless you try to do that to it, but a big part of this that I didn't even think about, it's primarily right-hand friendly. A lot of doors are, but this one's just specifically for right hand because it's very easy for someone with the right hand to do this if they're right-handed. But to do it with the left hand kind of hurts a little bit for me, at least. I don't know why, and it is a little confusing. But I think people were smarting up over time in at least 6 months. So right here, that is the best door possible. You go in, boom, that easy. Go in, bam, easy. I think it's pretty cool, at least. I gotta go to work.